Oh, man. What
What's
up,
going
brother?
on, baby? What's going on, Frank?
Man,
Nothing flyers.
we popped in this joint live at 5, with our sales.
Oh yeah.
So we gonna get the people a little pregame, you know what I'm saying? Mac went to go get him some young raps.
Oh
Uh
yeah.
the Queen of the Pond hadn't tapped in yet, but I'm sure she will. So it's
Oh
Nick
yeah, for
Nash,
sure.
hi guy in the building. Yeah.
we we don't want to get it cracking like that though, but we're gonna get it cracking. So
I'm sure you
yesterday,
crack, man.
yesterday was tremendo. And it's like a lot of things after fact. So I get into the part where you know, uh,
There she go.
well, Nick Mose,
Hey,
how you doing?
What's going
Oh,
on, man? Mac went to go run to the store right quick, so
okay.
like a G.
No, this way.
Nah, I just had to run to the car.
Oh
oh,
well, all right,
I left my
man.
cigars in the car.
I was about to
But
go
guess
in.
what? Even though I had to run to the car, you know where we was? We was live at 5/7
Hey,
Central.
In the building.
What's up, everybody in Facebook, YouTube, replay land? Welcome to the Piranha Pond StreamCast. I am your illustrious host, uh, Director of Parks and Recs around this bad boy.
Oh,
Kick back. And as usual, I am joined in the pond by the ever illustrious Piranhas. To the right of me is my boy, Nunflyer. What's going on with you, baby boy?
what it do, folks, man? I'm chilling, man. Getting ready to chop it up for the people. The people.
That's right, I ain't mad at you. Under him, we have, as usual, my boy with all the insights, my brother from another mother, my guy, Nick Nass. What's happening with you, baby boy?
and ain't that much, man. Thank you for the word delights. Yeah, made me feel good inside.
Word delights, nigga.
And y'all all know who brings light to the pond, who brings the beauty around to the park. It's my girl, Nick Mo. How you doing,
what's up,
man?
everybody? How y'all doing today?
Oh,
Doing
shit.
good.
Hanging in there.
That's all we can do. Surviving the game.
Heard the hell out of that.
For real, for real.
Everybody straight? What you guys been up to? You still testing, Shell?
Uh, not those particular tests. I just have some finals that's due by Monday. But as in coursework, I'm done. Yay!
Look
That's
at
what
it.
I'm
Knock
talking
it
about.
down.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
I seen today we got our little cousin graduating too this Saturday. Round of Mac,
Yeah,
Angel?
congratulations.
Angel.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Congratulations. That's
Congratulations, Angel.
Congrats,
yes.
congrats.
Congratulations, Jelly. Congratulations, Ron and Lisa. Y'all did a great job with her.
Oh,
Oh
most
yeah.
definitely.
And she vicious
Mo-
in volleyball too. I
Yes,
want to play
yes.
with her
My
at the park.
girl got a mean fight. I love that.
There's Mike
Yeah, I was like,
Florida.
just stay away from her at the park.
Nah. Jim McLean.
Yo, yeah,
oh yeah,
for sure.
without a doubt.
Hmm
How we
we
grow.
had we had a real good show last yesterday. Um, generated a generated a lot of off air talk, after show talk. Y'all last be getting me in trouble. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Who?
So you got you in trouble. You be real with that.
But hey,
Frey had to
I
walk
can't
away.
I can't
You
do
Frey had
be
to
nothing.
walk.
real with that.
I can't
You
do
got
nothing
you in trouble.
but I can't do nothing but keep it 100 though, all the
It's
way
you.
around.
That's all you can do.
It was on
All
my
the way
mind half
around.
of the night. I couldn't wait to get back to today. I was like,
Right.
yeah.
I felt you on that. I felt
I
on that.
pro.
Somebody told me something that really sounded with me yesterday, and I'm ready to talk.
Hmm
Oh, okay. Well, um, I kind of, knew that was, we was going to be continuing the conversation because we kind of left off. Not that we left off abruptly, but with so many more levels that we had to go to, and we kind of ran out of time. I think where we left off, for me, I think I was doing most of the talking lines or trying to make. I was trying to be heard the most yesterday, and what I was saying, aside from any other examples, bad examples, good examples, or anything, is that it seems to me to be a breakdown in communication between the black man and the black woman when it comes time to talking about moving forward in a relationship. My question today, in continuation from the pod yesterday, is: as a black community, as black couples, can we really talk? Can we talk honestly, openly, and whatever it takes in order? What kind of talk does it take in order for us to achieve any level of success in a relationship with one another? Whoever want to jump off.
So I've been contemplating half of the night, right, and most of the day. So what I actually see is the one part that's missing is because we feel like we have to battle for position, right? And the one thing that we have to really understand and break the code on is what is our tone, what is our point of view, and what is suggestional, because we still walk away from the conversation empty because we try to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? When the point should be an overall, where is our destination? It's like people want to skip to the end of the novel. You don't want to read the forwarding pages and not get in on a journey. But when you're trying to explain the journey and say, okay, well, nobody's wrong in this situation. Like I said, it's no losses, it's only lessons, right? So if the conversation comes to where you said this is what my intentions are, and we're usually going on good intentions, right? But it's other underlying conditions, and the one condition is we forgot how to kick it. We forgot how to kick it and talk. Because we want to separate and go do other things that make us comfortable. But the uncomfortable thing is the conversation. You try to find the quickest way to get out of that shit, period. You know what I'm saying? Because we exposed some things that should have been exposed from the jump. It shouldn't have to been no Wizard of Oz thing where we got to draw the curtains back and see who's the little midget. You know what I'm saying? The smaller wizard behind that, who's controlling the atmosphere. We actually control the bouncing of the ball, what direction we want to go in. And if it's two people that actually come together, right, and have a broader vision on what we are building as the combination of us journeying through life together, should be it. It's simple as this, right? It could be a conversation about religion. You have one view, I have another view. You know what I'm saying? But what is the overall teaching that I'm going to pass down to the next generation if we procreate, if we create together? Because we creating the life together, period. That's my, in a nutshell.
So my take on it is that no, you can't talk. You can't talk. And this is why we can't talk. Buttons are getting pushed. Feelings are getting hurt. One person may be left field, you're in right field, and you don't know where to go from there. You shouldn't have to walk. I'll repeat this. You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells with somebody that you care about to have a decent conversation with them. It shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't have to be that hard. And also, if you dealing with someone who, for all intents and purposes, maybe is not a great communicator, break that shit down first before you just be like, well, you don't communicate well. Well, maybe it's the fucking reason why. I got a lot of shit I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it if it's gonna end up in a fight. I'm not gonna say it if at the end of the day I regret even saying it. When a conversation gonna go left before you even start it, that's a real bad indicator. I tell people all the time, you want me peaches and cream. You don't want me to fucking be an asshole. You don't want me to be asshole. You want me to be sweet, Nikki. You want me to be flowers and egg, Nikki. You really want that version of me. Because when I get that other version of me, it's not gonna sound great. I'm not gonna hold my tongue. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, But again, I feel like I'm taking more L's than lessons, even though they consequently go hand in hand. I feel like I'm taking L's these days. But like I said, my standpoint on it is that no, we can't talk because I don't know. Shit just fucked up. Nobody ain't really talking these days. We ain't getting no point across. We gonna spend argue. We're gonna spend an hour arguing about it, and you didn't even get your first point across that you was trying to get across. Much less the shit that you really wanted to talk about.
Mm.
I believe you
So
can.
no, that's my standpoint. It ain't happening right now. You lose me when you can't talk to me. Because when you don't, I already told y'all, I tell, I'm honest with people. I have triggers. You're not gonna handle me any kind of way. And the minute that we start talking and you start going left on me, start talking to me out of pocket, I'm like, fuck it. In my mind, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right, yeah, you're right. That's what we're gonna, that's what we're gonna do because it don't make no sense at that point. Like you already done ran me hot 0 to 100 real quick, and I didn't even say what I really wanted.
Mm.
I just feel like it's not what say this one more time for the people in the cheat sheet. It's not what you say to me, it's how you present.
Mm.
You could be telling me I ain't shit, and I could probably be inclined to agree with you on some things, but it's how you present. It's how you talk to me. Don't talk to me like I'm not anybody. Don't talk to me like you're above me. That's why I couldn't deal with that whole coin shit about a how dare you man or how dare you woman. No, because everybody wants to be treated like they're something.
Yeah.
And also do what you say and mean what you say. Like your words really gotta match your actions. I find you can't tell somebody that you care about that they mean something to you, but halfway through the conversation you saying dumb shit like you gotta get in where you fucking fit in. Who the fuck you talking to? Me? Not me. You get in where you fit in now.
Karate
Now you
chop.
get in where you fit in, because that's my point of view on it now. Like now you get fuck in where you fit in. Now that I know how you running shit, I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna run.
Mm.
So
And
no,
that's
we can't talk. We can't talk.
I believe you
Right.
can. It all depends on the person you're talking to. Some people just can't be reasoned with. Some people, can't be talked to. I believe that there are people out there that will listen if you talk to them, and in a way that they can digest it. You know what I mean? It all depends on the person, man, or the couple. You know, period. And some people have great lines of communication, and some do it through pain and anger. You know what I'm saying? So I believe we can. I just believe it's an individual situation. Some people think they're above the conversation. Some people think they're above the situation they in, and don't want to hear nothing about it from nobody else. You know what I mean? So I believe you can. It just depends on who you're talking to.
Your way of talking to me is not pointing out all my faults. I fucking know what my faults are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that approach with me, that I'm different. That hard love approach, that don't work with me like that. I'm gonna tell you one more time, and I'm gonna repeat that again for the dumb people. You're gonna handle me with care, with everything you do. You're gonna talk to me right. You're gonna treat me right. You're gonna handle. You need to know that I'm a cancer that you're gonna handle with care. Or if not, then that's fine. Then we're gonna do something different. But if you are
So
gonna be in my life, then you're gonna treat me with care.
so the thing is, what I picked up from that, right, was that people want to align themselves with you, but find the easy way out. So when you expose that the easy way out is to talk to me reckless, fucked up, right? And that is the one part when they not stepping up to the plate what they said they had to do. And you're right, Shell. The action speaks louder than words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And once you get in the mix and you can't handle it, it's like if you sign up for this job, it's gonna be this job, right? Now don't go flaking off later on, right? Because all you have to do is simply say, no, I can't I can't possibly do that right now. You know what I'm saying? But give me time and you understand. I'm not trying to run away from it, but I am running away from it because the conversation is like, oh, you unlock something in my psyche, in my mind, right? That the universal guy or the guy can't even help me with because you didn't take the time to learn how to build. And
Right.
that's the one part that communication is not going to come from a text. It's not going to come from a book. It's going to come from real life situation.
When you're talking about building with somebody, you have to, and you have a person that's been through things, been through issues, and been through some bad relationships, and it just shit that's they dealing with some stuff, probably got some trauma, some hurt. when you're talking about building, you gotta start from the bottom layer up.
The
And if
mud.
you ain't got time to deal with it, again, like my post area, jump into don't jump into a role you can't play.
And that's the real serious part. And it's a lot because people out here peacocking, and really it's like, oh, I got this. So I believe I can make it happen. But once they get in the mix and it's like, oh, okay, well, I thought you would be more appreciative of me saying that I'm, like you said, going back to that worth shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm worth your time, but I'm not worth your uh loyalty, right? Because the
Mm-hmm.
moment that you say, look, you trying to get to the draws, like what is your purpose? What is your purpose to align yourself with me? And right there, the little roaches, it's like turn on the light. The roaches will run away. You know what I'm saying? And that is the part where people can't even get past. But then, Shell, this is the cold part. Frank, Shell, and Mac, right? They want to try to come back and revisit it after they thought they built their game up. They thought their vocabulary, right? And you be like, oh, it's the same one. Because you know what I'm saying? A little bit of drink and dank will expose it all over again. You still sloppy. Tighten your shit up.
Right.
you know?
Like I mean, like I always use myself. I don't care how I come across the people on camera in the world, but me personally, like I know that I have a lot of stuff that I'm working on within myself and stuff like that. So yes, I constantly need reassurance. I need to know you care. I need to feel it. I need you to say it. I need you to show it. I speak all 5 love languages, not just one or two or three. You're gonna use all of them. You're gonna use all your senses with me.
I'm going to look that up. Love language. That's a thing.
There's 5 of them, right?
Okay, well, yeah, I got to do some more research.
Right. But you're gonna
Yeah,
use
y'all.
all of them with me. You're gonna use all of them.
Yeah, that's and that's the part that I know. I asked Frank, right? So in your development, right? Did you ever use the things that happened to you as a young man that's building your life, right? Your foundation. Did you ever use it uh in the thing and say, hey, I'm in need of these things? Like as far as emotional, whatever, with somebody trying to come into your zone. Or you was like, I got this, and just trust in me, because I'm gonna be loyal to the game.
Um. Okay, so this is weird, primarily because it's such a split thing for me. Because when I was a kid, totally different person when I am when I was adult, and all in between was in prison. So kind of crazy. I didn't get a chance to really apply that in growing up as an adult and see the trial and error in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So basically, like learning on the fly, confidence, using the force. Goddamn it, you know what I'm
The
saying?
belief, right? And
Man,
and that's the point I was and that's the point I was getting to, because when you believe something could work, now you won't let them step over your boundaries, right? But we actually doing what we was designed to do, as people, right? But at some point in what we call it, Generation X, the baby boomers, whatever, it was lost. And I need to make revenue to justify my means, or I'm not worthy. And that is the part where I see overall, even through the comments or other videos that I actually watch, that is the part. Because uh, in that chart of the 20 traits to be the man, I didn't see alpha, sigma, or none of that in there, because it didn't exist, right?
Mhm.
So what is the
Look,
what is
different
the
something. It was an entirely different subject matter. It wasn't addressing alphas or none of
no?
that.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
was it
That's
was a
that's
It
what
was
I'm
what
saying. Because
it was just like giving what the broad scope of what a high value man was, right?
20
That's what
different
we see
points,
yesterday.
20
Yeah,
different points
from
that
20 different
make
points,
comprise
right?
the high value man.
so let
And
me
again,
clarify.
it didn't
Let me
have anything
clarify.
to do with you use an alpha or a sigma type of man. It didn't have anything to do with you. It was just that these are points and traits, but it didn't, like you said, it didn't point out like, well, you're not gonna do this if you're an alpha man, or you're not gonna do this if you're a sigma man. It didn't really just point that out like that.
Yeah, and
What I
so this
will
was
what I will say is, even though that wasn't what that article was about, pretty much when you look at all those 20 different characteristic traits together, they describe what we have described as the alpha male, as opposed to the sigma male. Because again, this is somebody who's enjoying the interaction between himself and a woman and his environment, and you know what I'm saying, planning, you know what I'm saying, being attentive to, you know, it's not really about him.
yeah.
You know
So
what I'm
what I
saying?
was
But he's in full control of all this shit. So here,
so
let me
what
say this, right?
go ahead.
Before I get lost, because oftentimes we start talking, I don't get a chance to address what the fucking subject was. Now I gotta go back. Oh, in terms of can we talk? I think that each of you guys' answer, and mine's as well, is coming up, is very indicative of the way that I feel, right? And the way that I feel is, you know, kind of, I encapsulated it yesterday, right? In communication with one another, you know, black men and black women. Women seek to be felt, men seek to be heard. Now, both are variations of being understood, but what they both are also are variations of dominating the conversation, either on the under, or you know, avert, you know, directly, right? So what you're saying, what we are all saying, right? Even in the case with me, because I got to throw myself under the bus. When I'm saying to my woman, to the black woman, look, man, I hear what you're saying about how you feel. I may not feel that way, but I empathize with you. I understand that you feel that way, right? This is coming from the black man's perspective, and I'm biased because I'm him, right? So the black man is saying, I understand that you want to be felt, right? The closest I'm gonna be able to get to that, because I disagree with you, is hearing you and understanding you in that fashion, right? But to me, it's some lower level of understanding on your part, right? In my mind, right? Like, damn, this chick, as clear as I'm being, you know, she's still talking about some motherfucking feelings, right? And from the niggas' point of view, a niggas like, fuck your feelings, man. We got to get this shit done. You feel what I'm saying? But what happened last night after the show is I got involved in a different kind of conversation, and a woman's point of view was kind of illuminated to me. And though I don't agree with it, I have to acknowledge that your desire to be felt is just as important to you as my desire to be heard is to me, right? So in both cases, we both trying to get understanding on our terms, not on the other person's terms, because not once did either one of us say, you know what, as a woman, I know you want to be felt, so I really feel you, right? Actually, when that happens, shit, niggas like me designate that as actions of the beta male, right? Like, I don't give a fuck about feeling you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can cater to it because I love you enough to not want to hurt your feelings, right? I don't want you to feel as though, you don't mean anything, or that you don't have, any value in decision making or anything like that. So I cater to that shit. But in the greater scheme of things, right? If it's time for me to talk to my niggas about it, I'm not talking about the way that we felt about what the fuck it was. I'm talking about what we did or didn't do. And my woman's failure to understand that her feelings didn't mean shit in the greater scheme of things, the way I'm thinking of things. What I was brought to understand is that I have to allow the woman to have feelings, right? And I have to give them that much more importance. And if we don't get the rent paid, it doesn't matter, right? Because what's more important, or what what I've been told should be more important to me, right, is the way that my woman feels about being validated as opposed to actually the shit.
What?
That's deep.
How that work?
That's deep.
Well,
So,
I mean,
So we
Happy
gonna be
wife,
broke.
happy
You gonna
life.
be validated.
That's how it
We gonna
works.
be
That's how it
oh
works,
yeah,
right?
I heard that.
Happy
gonna be
wife,
homeless.
happy life. That's exactly how the
We
fuck
gonna
it
be
works.
homeless and broke and destitute.
it does
as
not
long
work
as
We're
like
gonna be
that.
homeless
However,
together.
as
We're
long
gonna
as
be
we
homeless
homeless, right?
together.
But you know, even the way you say it,
I
it's
always
so
have.
typical of most men. You say it with an attitude. You
Well, I
say it
got an
like, well,
attitude.
this is what
I
I
got
gotta
an
fucking
attitude
do now.
because I
But
don't agree with it. I don't
exactly,
believe. I got an attitude because I don't agree with it. I don't
exactly,
believe that it's the most effective course of action. But I
right.
love you more than I hate the fucked up choices that you make us make. Does that
Negative.
make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense. What you said all before that statement, it made sense. It was a true statement. And that's why we can't talk.
So check
Because
this
it
out.
has to be more than it's
It has to be that I totally have to agree with you, right?
Right. It has to. It has to be
yeah,
what the hell you
yeah.
talking about.
At some
Okay.
point you have to just I need you to be like,
Well, I
you know,
don't. I don't.
not just because I'm
On
gonna
some
do it
authentic
because
shit,
okay,
right?
I'm
On some
acknowledge it
authentic
because
shit.
I know it makes you feel some type of
But
way.
on some
Like
authentic
who
shit,
wants
I
to like
don't agree with you. On some
right,
authentic shit, I don't agree with you.
right,
But we can't progress in the relationship if I'm
right.
honest about not agreeing with you.
So it
I
ain't gonna
want to
work.
progress in the relationship. So I'm gonna do whatever the fuck you want me to do.
Right.
So this is what I
No.
got.
That's
No,
but
wait,
that's
hold up. Is
exactly
it right or no?
but that's exactly what I don't want you to do. I
But
want you
why
to be
would you?
entitled to your opinion. I don't want you to I want you to be a yes person that just gonna agree with everything I say, but at the same time, what the way you and most men say it, it's almost like it's just not important to you. Like you
Here's
just
what
don't get it.
here's what I'm trying to say, right, Shell? We do get it, right? The thing about it is that the
We gotta
fact
make you
that we
believe
don't
you get
agree
it.
with you makes you think we don't understand you. We understand you totally. We understand you perfectly. I understand exactly what you're saying, what you're conveying to me. I understand what you're feeling, and I understand why you're feeling it. I'm not you though. I'm not a chick. I'm a nigga. I'm a whole nigga in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't agree with you. The thing about it is, and here's where we fall out, why I say I agree with you. No, we can't talk. The reason why we can't talk is because the assertive male has been bred not to be honest about what the fuck he wants. You are ridiculed. You are labeled a misogynist. You are anti-women. You are ununderstanding. You are insensitive. No, I'm just honest. That's what you wanted me to be, was honest. But I can't be honest with you. And I'm not saying with you. I'm saying in my life, right? And I'm 56 motherfucking years old. I've had a couple of chicks, right? I've never been able to be totally, look, this is what it is. Because I'm going to hurt your feelings. And your feelings to you is more important than this logic is to me.
Yeah. So I gotta say
So
this,
again,
right?
like I said, it's almost like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? A nigga
Catch
says, okay,
22, homie. Catch
shit, I
33
don't have
McCollum.
no win. I ain't got no win in my home as long as I'm disagreeing with my woman. So fuck that. I'm just gonna end the disagreement. Not only am I not gonna disagree with her out loud, we're just gonna roll with her program, however it turns out. And you motherfuckers say that ain't good enough. What the fuck is the nigga
Because
supposed to
that's not
do?
what we want.
What
We
do
still
you
want
want?
you. We
You
still
want
want you to
so
lead.
Hell
We
no.
just
when I
want you to
say
take
what you
our feelings
want,
in
what you
consideration.
actually
What's wrong with
want,
that?
you can word it like you want to, but what you actually want is for me to agree with you. You want me to feel like you feel, to validate your feelings. I just don't.
So look,
I'm either gonna lie to you or I'm gonna tell you I don't. Which one do you want? You can't say
so
neither because there ain't no third choice.
so look, this is the thing, right? That from last night I really had to sit down. I went outside and walked outside at night by the edge of the woods, right? And I came up with this. I don't know if everybody see in agreements with me, right? But it seems like us in this place where we reside at, United States, whatever you want to call it, in this world, right? We have accepted the conversation to be in separation. I'm talking about where the men and women are apart. You seem like you get more accomplished.
Nick, say it like what it is, man. We are in competition.
The
Yeah,
only compromise is if it's your way. That's the only.
So the thing is, right? It has been designed like this from whenever it started to break up these family things. I know in the beginning you said during the 60s where the man shouldn't be in the home, it should be the woman. But then the thing is that all of these things that we conform in, we can't break the tie. Because first of all, people's spirit are broke. Unless you get closer to the universe in your spiritual level, right? You can't even begin to understand the compassion, having compassion for a person's intentions. And it's good intentions, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But we sit here and think that if we separate from it, that's to be better. You don't have to be in the same room with me to feel this energy, right? Because right now I feel this energy. It's like we get frustrated because we want the people to know. Ain't nothing really wrong with us. We just expressing it over the internet that it's a gang of conversation going on in the car right now.
Well, I'm talking about even in the conversation between a man and this woman, right?
Yeah. It's like the turn-up game.
And let's just say, you know, the man is of the position that I am, and his woman is of Shell's position, right? And strongly, you know, strongly and fiercely feels. My question is always this, right? My question is always this: how is it that we build? Did this nigga not know that it's a whole broadcast going on? You need to get put out at 5 o'clock. What's going on here, bro?
So, and that's the
whole thing is, the question always becomes for me, and again, I'm biased because I'm the nigga, right? And I've always felt this way. Always felt like, for whatever reason, I have to, number one, and this is today, men who are assertive about who they are, right, always kind of feel the need to shade his woman from the harshness of who he is, right, and how he thinks about shit, right? So niggas is never on no shit about, I'm really just trying to hurt your fucking feelings, right? But what also happens is that men, for the most part, black men in my position, get to the point where your woman knows that you love her, and she knows that you're willing to listen to her, and it starts being about her being listened to as opposed to him being heard. So now what happens is, no matter what the fuck I say, it's a disagreement, right? I could say I like vanilla ice cream, and you're going to tell me that's only because you ain't never had butter pecan. What the fuck you mean? I know what I like, right? And it gets to the point where the nigga is like, it don't even make no fucking sense to assert what it is that I'm about, who it is that I am, what it is that I like, because none of that shit is going to matter. It's not going to matter anyway. If none of the things, if one of those things that I'm talking about that is a deal breaker for me is not in comport with what the girl believes to be okay, then I'm ass out, because we're never going to get to the compromise that says, okay, nigga, I'm going to give you what you want in this. I'm going to bend a little. And all we ever want is to be heard. So I don't need you to do shit except what you say you're going to do. But I do need you to hear me. And this is what I'm saying right here, Shell, right? And you and I in our conversation over the last few days, because we are both two strong individual black men and black women, right? We are a microcosm of the conversations that happen in the bedrooms and the kitchens of forward black couples, right? This nigga is saying, hey, check this here, man. I understand what the fuck you saying, man, but A, B, C, and D, and what she's saying is, man, that don't make no fucking difference. What makes a difference is this. Because I feel like woo, and you ain't hearing me. And that's what the conversation becomes, right? And the thing is, the nigga ain't gonna beat it into you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A nigga is gonna get to the point where he's like, this motherfucker is just not gonna listen. So he just stops talking to you.
But again, most times when that happens, it's a person feels like you're talking at them and not to them.
No, not at all. Not
Yeah,
at all.
no,
I'm not even gonna let you get away with that.
What you say,
I'm not even gonna let you get away with that.
Woman,
I'm not even gonna let you get away with that,
I
Chef.
want you for security, and I still want you to leave.
Chef,
And I just want you to watch how you talk to me, and I just want you to take my feelings into consideration. That's all I'm saying. I don't want you to change how you are, but I just want you to make me feel that little bit of extra specialty that you in my life, and that,
you know what?
I want you to feel. I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm willing. I'm gonna say this, and I'm willing to get whatever kickback comes. Right, Black women. As much as I love you guys, right, and as much as I desire to be in relationships with you guys, what you say and what you do or what you want is rarely the same thing. Rarely. You guys talk a real good motherfucking game about all this progressive shit that you want in your life from the black man, but yet and still, whenever he's giving that to you, you want something else. It's something wrong with the way he's giving it to you. It's always something wrong with us. When are we ever going to do anything right when it comes to black women?
See, I think you take it way too far because the problem is the conversation.
I haven't heard a black woman in the comments. I haven't heard a black woman in the comments in 22 episodes talking hella big about her relationship and belief in, her romance and following the black man into glory. Not once. Everybody that I know, every black woman that I know is always about a certain how independent she is.
That's the part I was going to next.
What a nigga ain't gonna do. I don't never hear sisters talking about what you are gonna do. You're good to tell me what I ain't gonna do, but what are you gonna do in terms of moving the relationship?
They don't even know.
In terms of coming with better communication. It's never any ideas or any suggestions about how we can communicate better. It's always, nigga, you need to listen to what I'm talking about, and that's all that matters.
So look,
and what you're saying is, but you doing it to me.
No, I don't agree.
But you're doing it to me though.
I don't agree. You're going all the way around the world.
No. Here, let me tell you what.
Just about that. I can agree with how you coming, but I'm just saying that come at me from a better place of how you address it with me.
And what I'm saying,
look,
let's just take that. Let's just take that. But let's just take that right there, right? Let's just take that statement right there. Mm-hmm. I can understand what you're saying is just how you. So again, you are putting conditions on how I communicate the information. What about the information?
Unconditional love.
Fuck about that, right? It's just all about how you feeling comfortable about the way that I give you the information. Not the information at all, right? The information is irrelevant. And what black men keep saying to you guys is, look, I understand that you're saying you think I'm harsh. I understand that you think that I'm being innocent or not innocent, insensitive. I understand that you think that I'm not valuing you. Here, let me dispense with all of this in one sentence to say you are absolutely wrong, and we can go into that later. But what I'm saying in this conversation between me and my woman is that I'm feeling not heard. And what the black woman says is, oh, nigga, you heard, nigga. Blah, 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 blah. You just don't hear us. You never hear us.
So check this out.
Let me give you an example.
Look, no matter what it is that we say, it's going to be something that you have to say to invalidate the way I feel about our communication.
Let me get a second.
Hold on. Let me use this as an example. Because this is why we initially can't get on the same page, because ultimately what we're supposed to be doing together is working together, building together, and helping each other out together and bridging the gap and being in one accord. If that's what we say that we're trying to do. So if we were doing that, if we was truly doing that, then yesterday, what I pointed out that the definition that you were giving was more in correlation with being chivalrous. Now I could appreciate the fact that you were saying that you were that's what you endeavor to be is chivalrous, but you say I couldn't understand you because I was hung up on a word or a definition, and I feel like, well, babe, I'm trying to help you be understood better. And had maybe if you just kind of use this word instead of that word, then more people may relate to it. But
And
again, that's just an example of why we can't get on the same page
what I
because
was what I
you
would
feel
say,
one way about it and I feel
what I
one
would
way, and
say,
we just can't work
here.
together. And that's typically the
Let me
black
respond.
community.
Let me respond to your example. Let me
Mhm.
respond.
Hold on, wait. Before y'all say anything, right? Let me interject in this particular moment, right? Let's take it back to the rudimentary things, right? Like when the teacher was teaching or talking, right? Like you never questioned the teacher. You just accept the lesson, right? So if we don't get back to that, it's like we trying to pass something on to you. Even if I'm not here today, I'm here today and not here tomorrow, right? That you won't take that bullshit on to the next one because now you know, right? We interrupt each other when a teacher is trying to teach or the professor. We go to a class. We signed up with this man to teach us something, man or woman, professors, right? If we get a book, we learn the lessons, right? But are we gonna sit up here and debate the teacher, unless you're a lawyer? But then it's still another book that you don't know about
Or you
that
got on the
he's
debate
further
team.
along now. You know what I'm saying? He got to go reference to penal code reference. You know what I'm saying? Whatever
It
versus
just seems
whatever.
like we're too busy fighting with ourselves to actually just see it and build with each other.
Yeah, and this is
Again,
the thing. And this is the
and
thing,
I
right?
think we have
That's
to
the
get out of
number
that.
one.
Again, I could appreciate you telling me to get out my feelings. Yeah, I could appreciate that. And but you at the same time, I feel like you have to be appreciative if I tell you something. I'm just not saying you. I'm just saying period. Yes, there's a lot of things that I will admit I am not great with constructive criticism at all. I don't like it. What I immediately want to do is try to change it and be something different or be better. But most men I find tell me like, because you just can't understand. It's like, no, it's not that. But why I gotta bring most people are their biggest critics. So my thing is in a relationship is you don't have to bring me down to
What was
zero
it that you
to
asked
make
me,
me
man?
feel like something. Like like
What
like
was it
like
that you
that's
said
not
when I
gonna
was
work
fixing
with
to say
me.
something to you?
Like don't make me take myself to grovel mode to make you feel better about the conversation that we were having.
We use trigger words though. That just like you said, right? The detriment of relationship has been out the window. I want to try to put a date on it. Was it the 60s,
Nick,
the 70s? What's up?
what was she saying that I was trying to answer, bro?
That the one part of the communication is why do we have to tear ourselves down to the lower level to
No,
accept?
Nick, she said something else, man. Fuck.
I
Go
did.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I did
I
say
made you lose the frame of
I
thought.
said something.
Yeah, it was the part where that he was saying overall the whole everything, right? The lack of communication between people, right? It's based
No,
on.
nigga, I know what it was. Stop. Let me talk for me, right?
Mhm.
So what you said, actually, Shell, was you gave the example of me using the word chauvinism, right? And what you said was that you were trying to help me by giving me the correct definition of the word. Okay, let's just accept that as being true, right? I don't, but let's just accept that as being true, right? Here's the thing about it, and here's what I was saying yesterday, what I'm saying right now, right, is that it wasn't about us having an understanding about the subject. It was about you beating me, you winning in the conversation. And let me finish from my point of view, from the male's point of view. And your winning was I said a word that you was going to make sure that I knew was the wrong word, even after I said, okay, maybe it's the wrong word. Here, what I said though was this, and this, right? All the different attributes that I was describing by the word being a chauvinist, a closet reformed chauvinist is what I said, because I watched the rebroadcast again. So what I was saying in in that statement, right, what I was trying to say before we got bogged down in me using the wrong word, right, was that most times what we as men are doing is not trying to hurt you. What we are doing is trying to help you with a particular thing that we believe that you can't get by yourself. And that's chauvinism. And I'm a nigga that comes from that and has been trying to change. So that's what I was trying to say, right? Also, what I was saying is that women look at that because it comes from a chauvinistic point of view, right? Is you assign us fucked up negative motivations, right? Like we intend on castigating you, keeping you down, looking at you fucked up in the fucked up stereotypes. And what I was saying is, no, that's not where we come from. Where it comes from is a misguided sense of, well, my baby can't do it, so I got to do it for her. And that's chauvinism. But here's the thing, right? You got, even though I said that shit 11 times until I got frustrated, man, I'm fucking yelling in the mic trying to get my point across, right? You never would hear that. All you was hearing was reasons why the conversation should now be shifted to what the word chauvinism means. And that wasn't what we were talking about. So what
but
the
you
black
missed
man,
that whole meaning.
listen,
The meaning was supposed to be like, if you were supposed to be my man, it was supposed to be like, babe, that might not be the
again,
best
you
word
telling
choice
me what I'm
that we
supposed to
could
mean.
use.
It was me talking, Shell. It was, I get to decide what I meant. You don't get to decide what I meant, and that's our problem. That's exactly what I was
I see
describing.
your point.
Exactly what it
No
is.
matter what it is that I, as
Because
an
what it
intelligent,
sounds like,
wait,
what it
let me
sounds
finish.
like
Let
you're
me
telling
finish.
me is that
No matter
I
what it
can't correct
is,
you,
no matter
or
what it
I
is
can't
that
tell
me
you
as the
which
intelligent,
is
as
not
me
because
as
I
the
feel like I'm
intelligent,
doing it out of love,
mature,
then
fucking
it's justified.
well-traveled black man, no matter what you're saying to me as is that me as an intelligent, well-read, well-traveled, old-ass motherfucking black man, right? I don't know what the fuck I want. I certainly don't know how to communicate it to you. I got to rely on you to tell me what I want. And that's the frustration that we continue to feel with the black woman. It's always a reason for you guys to negate whatever the fuck it is that we're telling you the truth about.
Well, you know what?
And
Whoever
that's why we
designed,
can't talk. It's
look,
not that niggas is insensitive. It's not that niggas think of you some fucked up way. It's not that you looked at as second-class citizens. It's not that we don't want to give you the power. Because
But
guess
my
what?
thing is like, why you have to do
No, let
it
me
like
finish.
that?
Let me finish.
Why do both men have to do it like
Just
that?
let me
Why
finish.
couldn't it
Just
just
let me
become?
finish. Why I
Why
can't
couldn't
finish?
it just be
How
like
come
it
I
was
can't
coming out
even
of a
finish?
place of love?
Why is it that I
Because
can't
we're
finish?
never going to
I just
acknowledge
want to
that,
know
right?
why I can't finish though. I just want to. That is the great frustration with black men that y'all don't let us talk. What it is that what we're saying is so unimportant to you guys that you guys can't even give us the respect to let us finish making
It's
the
not
point,
that. It's just
let
that it's
alone
just not the
understand the
truth.
point. And that's
so
the frustration that black men have with black women.
look,
Really,
so check this out. Whoever
point blank,
designed,
period. We just don't feel heard. We try our damn best to hear you guys and accommodate you guys to what you think is important, never being able to get it right. You know why we're never able to get it right? Because we fake it.
yeah.
We don't
So
really
look,
feel that way. But we
so
love you more than the fucked up decisions. We love you more than we hate the fucked up decisions that we have to make in spite of you guys.
and
Period. So I don't want to hear that shit about what the black man ain't doing and how we don't regard you and don't value. That's fuck
That's
shit.
all the fuck Minklin talk about.
Period.
so where did it? Whoever designed this matrix and applied it to our community, it has worked efficiently to separate the home. You know what
Well,
I'm
I
saying?
mean, Tina was point blank about it last week when she was like, when women had to start accepting help and they made the black man have to get out the house. I do personally believe that that's where the great divide came
You know,
because
because yeah.
again, you were living in two separate households, so so it wasn't like, okay, I'm the man of the house and I'm making the decision. It
Well, how
wasn't
about
like
if
that
I'm the
anymore.
person of the house? How about if I'm the person of the house that's gone along with you, right? That's all meat and potatoes of everything, right? Because we know it's possible to get along. right?
Well, I mean,
But
when you
like I
asked
said,
about the Great Divide, and I was just answering that particular question.
yeah, oh, yeah.
But my take on this is that that's the reason why we can't communicate, because again, I feel the same way I'm talking to you and you talking to me, and how I presented my view earlier. I feel like if I'm telling you anything,
mm-hmm.
I'm telling it to you from a good heart, a good place. I'm telling it to you out of love. I'm not telling it to you because I'm trying to be an asshole, and I'm not telling it to you because I'm trying to put you down. But all I'm saying is that why can't you just understand that in the same regard?
We're
Why
saying
you
that we
couldn't be
do. We're
yesterday
saying
for
So
that
what
we
look,
it
do.
for
What
just
it
so
for
is,
look,
30
like I
seconds?
said,
Why
it's not
couldn't it be
it's not
yesterday
that
that
you
you
want us
would
to
tell
understand.
you right
It's
about
it's
that?
not
I
that you want
probably
us to
could have used
understand.
different words than chauvinistic, because that was kind of like totally against kind of like what I was saying, and I definitely got what you were saying. All I was saying
yeah.
was that the word choice, if it didn't resonate with me, it might not even resonate with some other people. And so,
What I was saying,
but I feel like even as a couple,
what I was saying is
when we
that we
when
couldn't
we
get
come at each
past
other in
that.
love,
No matter how
that's
much
still not enough,
explanation, no matter how much explanation I gave you, you couldn't get past that.
because the word choice was fucked up.
The word wasn't important. I could have chose any word. Here,
But you
what?
didn't. And when I brought
Okay,
it to your attention, you
but you,
still didn't.
I did.
So check this out. So look, when K Max said this earlier, right? From personal experience, a happy wife, a happy life, right? So I'm just gonna bare my bones right here, right? I did everything possible, humanly possible as a human being, right? To make things go according to how I was raised, with all the examples I had around me, right? Now, all that got put, it meant absolutely nothing when I ended up with a medical condition, right? I'm talking about uh, taking care of in-laws, communication. And at the end of all that, is I still had to justify let me go back. It all got diminished down to, I think you're addicted to opioids. All the shit I've done this whole damn near 20 years with communication and putting it into action, that I believe from all examples around me from the women, not saying they was complaining about anything, because they wasn't complaining. It's like, what do I do as a, a man that the universe designed me to do? And it got fucked off by a medical condition, right? I didn't run from anything. I never ran from the conversation, but it still I had to still try to justify myself when it wasn't the actual day. But in that person's head, it had to be that, because they always change the goalposts. I didn't kick many of field goals and made it happen. Made everything possible could happen that a man could do. I sacrificed my health for wealth, right? But I was abundant in in loyalty to everything, right? And it still could be a conversation to this day. It's no conversation because they're gonna ask why. Why did it have to happen that way? It was out of my control. It was God. It was the universe. You gonna fight against God in the universe? You gonna talk to him. You better find it somewhere inside your soul. And that's why, what it is, because I question that all the time. Because nothing was wrong with it. Nothing was wrong. But it developed into that, who's making more revenue than the other person? Why I'm not having this at this time in my life? And the thing is, I wasn't no yes man. Right? I say, I'm gonna give you everything you need, not everything you want. And I'm not gonna give you fake ass conversation. I'm gonna tell you the truth. When you step up to the plate, and that's the part that I hope people really get from these conversations. Like, go into your mind, go into your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Align yourself with greater things, because it's not that hard to communicate and say, like you said, Shell and Mac, say what you mean and mean what you say. But the most of it is, you go out in this world and battle every day. I shouldn't have to come home and battle you with some fucking conversation at the end of the day and explain to you why did I get to this point. And you still not hear me. I'm gonna go to bed fucking mad. If I can't go to sleep at peace in our dwelling, what is it good for? That's like I said earlier.
I think a lot of shit sounds good on paper. It sounds good when you're saying it as a slogan,
Yeah,
some
you
slick
show
ass
up.
fucking saying and some more shit, right? Like what you just said. You know what I'm saying? Um, But what it really is, and what has been my personal experience and the experience of the vast majority of niggas that I fuck with, is that number one, women say they want to be understood, but what you want is to be agreed with. You want me to agree with, because I keep saying I understand, and you keep telling me that I don't. So I don't know how we get past that. I don't know what to do to make my woman understand that I understand her without tacitly agreeing with her and being very convincing in that. On the other side of the fucking fence, black men, specifically my kind of black men, who come from a particular type of background where I ain't hearing none of that bullshit. We got this motherfucking money to get to, right? But who is now trying to be in this progressive space. You know what I'm saying? And trying to fucking atone for some of the fucking ways that I have looked at things in the past, right? The frustration that keeps coming up is that we just not heard. No matter what it is that I say about, you want me to be in touch with my feelings. You want me to be open and honest. But when I am, there's always a reason why whatever it is that I'm saying is not true.
Yeah. So allegedly, so Shell, Frank, so I lived with this man for many of years, right? Now, the thing is, I could be out somewhere, come back, hear the last little bit of the conversation. The person, whoever he was involved with, to come back, because I'm the quiet one, then they're not going to hear the same thing, right? So it's like, oh, Nick, no. And I was like, well, okay, so what is it? We live together, right? And they said, well, not my opinion, but this conversation that she had with him, I replicate the same thing without even hearing the conversation. It's like, oh, goddamn, Nick Nash just like came back. But no, it's the part that we was built on. And right at that moment that they realized that it's not a battle between that. It's like we telling you something we could actually, go further into the future with. It is not no knock on anything.
This
it's
what
like,
I don't like. I find this in my personal relationships too. Like, I don't need you just to be like, what I hate was like, I hear you, I don't agree. Because that seems to be like real common.
But what happens if he hears you but don't agree?
Well, let me finish.
What I was
finna say is that why not be like more like, I'm trying to understand it from your point of view.
But he understands you.
But you don't say that.
He ain't trying to. No.
You can't tell me that I hear you, but I don't agree. Well, okay, well then you're not trying to understand me.
No, he is. He understands when he said, no, babe, here. Let me translate man speak for you. I hear you. That means I understand exactly where you coming from, why you coming from there, and why you feel.
Because I hear you to me is so vague. It's so
it's like, not about what's
past this. Look, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I told you I'm a spoon feed you. I'm a.
That's not what it means, though,
I hear you. That's how most.
That ain't what it means. That's not what it means.
Just like you said, like 9/10 of men. That's how 9/10 of women.
That's not what it means.
I believe most women is worried about the wrong shit.
We don't want to hear. I hear you. I would rather hear that. I'm gonna try to look at it from your point of view.
That's crazy.
So Shell,
but it's real.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. So see, and that's the point. And that's the point, right? That is crazy. Look, and this is the part, right? But because
we'll go cardinal signs, right?
Yeah.
I can't work for him either. So hey.
Yes. So Shell, so that is a good attribute to have. But if you actually
I'm not being condescending. I'm not being condescending at all.
But when I say that, but hold on. But that's exactly how it comes across. When you say that I hear you, but I don't agree, that's condescending to me.
It's the
what
truth.
Is
and that's how most women view that.
Where does that come from? He hears you and he don't agree. Anything else that he says is a goddamn lie.
Hey,
So
so
what
can
I
you take that
need
to the?
him,
You
what I
want him
need
lied
him
to.
as the man
Right,
that
that's
I
what they
like
want.
to work on
I
is
hear you,
that
baby.
I'm
We
Right.
back
going to
to
try
Right.
to
So
see it from
again,
back
your
to
point
what
of
you
view.
want and not what actually matters, which is the point.
right. We back to I
What you
need to
want
cater.
not what actually
I
matters,
need to
which is the
cater,
point.
expressing how I feel
That's crazy.
to your sensitivity,
Hey,
not necessarily to my honesty.
I can see this
Well,
right now
however
in a
you
court
need
of
to
law.
view it or say it, but what you're gonna do is you're
But
gonna
when
handle
I
me.
said that, you said that's not what you want. Remember, because I said, look, man, I'm the nigga who not only do I not agree with you, but I realize not agreeing with you out loud is gonna cause some consternation. So I just
Because I
don't
There you
say a
go.
motherfucking thing.
I
Act like
don't need you
yo,
to
And then she
agree.
said
I
she
just
don't want no
need
yes
you
man
to
though.
be like, I want to try to see it from your point of view. Maybe let's
Can I
talk
stand
about
up in
it
the
and
court of
tell
law?
me why you feel
so
like this.
basically,
Maybe it's
Shell,
another sidebar
basically
conversation.
all you said to me, Shell, is seeing things from your point of view is agreeing with you. I see things from your point of view. I just don't agree with you. You very, very clear in expressing your point of view, sweetheart. You are not no dummy.
Yeah.
You ain't got no fucking loss of words. You are very clear. Trust and believe. When you
Trust
say
and
how
believe.
you feel, a nigga knows. And if a
How
nigga
you
just says,
feel?
yeah, I hear you, but I don't agree, that means I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you mean. I don't agree with you, and I sure the fuck don't want to argue with you about it.
So,
But y'all
hey,
don't never hear that.
so can this be a
The
simple thing,
the
right?
nigga that don't value you, right? Because I didn't have
We're gonna give a
some
fuck.
unvaluable bitches in my life that then tried me, right? You get a bar and a motherfucking half on the spot. I'm not fixing to be trying to fucking cater to your sister. Fuck your feelings, bitch. Get out of my house and take these bars on the way. You guys just don't get it, man. We love y'all way more than y'all give us credit for, and that's part of the frustration.
That's all because we're not doing it that
Nothing
way.
that we do
We're not
in
doing it how you want
trying to fucking acquiesce you guys as women, because we know y'all don't think and feel like us. We
I just
realize
feel
that.
like how she said it. When you say you hear me, that doesn't necessarily mean you're
It
trying
does.
to understand where I'm coming
Here's a
from.
man.
But
Here's a man
but
telling you what a man
Chef.
means.
So
It does. Now you can be a woman and reject what
look,
I
Chef.
say out of hand and replace it with what you believe to be true, which is what you guys generally do, and why we can't talk. It's like nothing that I say.
So the thing is, if
Nothing that I say
But
about
now,
me is true.
at least now
Are
we
you
know
telling
the
me that
reasons
nothing that
why
I tell you?
can't talk. I said that from the beginning, but now
Here,
we
let
know
me
the exact reasons, and this
let me
is
put it a different way. Let me put it a different way.
Agreed.
Let me put it a different way, right? And let's remove you from the scenario and make it again me, and I'm your cousin who you love. So you looking at it from, all the shit that I tell you, right?
you
Who the
disagree with
fuck
what he
is
got to
this
say.
bitch in my life to demand that I be anything other than honest with her? Who the fuck is she? What
To lie
has
to
she
kick
done
it.
in my life, right, to deserve that I change my entire way of? I mean, we're adults, right? We should be able to communicate. Me and Frank talk all the time. We both grown men. We don't agree on every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And when we don't agree on shit, I try to change this nigga's mind. He try to change my mind. Sometimes it works. Most times it doesn't, right?
Well, I'm just
But
a
the thing
bully.
about it is, when we come on this podcast, this nigga said something the other day and shit, right? I was saying something, and this nigga was like, yeah, one thing I can say is this nigga really is like that. You feel what I'm saying? So the point that I'm trying to get across to you is how is it? Wait, here to take the me and you my cousin, and I got some random chick that's fucking with me that I like her. She's worth something, right? Who the fuck is she for me to lie to?
No, nobody.
Like literally, who is this person, right? That would require me to lie to her in order to kick it. Like, and what kind of motherfucker am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm your cousin.
That moment in
You
time.
know who I am, right? You know who the fuck I am. But all of a sudden, I'm telling you shit like, yeah, well, I really want to tell her, whoa, but I know she ain't gonna understand where I'm coming from. She gonna take it to mean this, that, and the third. And I just rather just get along. You You'll be cussing my ass out in 3 different languages, man.
Nigga, that's 10 to
Come on.
5. Nigga, that's 10 to 5. You messing with her, that's 10 to 5.
I'm saying, man, I should always have the right to be honest about who the fuck I am. Here, I said even different than that.
Take that right away from you, baby. All I'm saying is that.
Oh, but Shell, they are.
I would just, I would.
I got
all
something
I'm
for
saying
that.
is that I want the man's mind to even begin to comprehend that.
Why can't you comprehend what he's talking about?
I can comprehend it, but what I'm saying is that why can't you just?
Well, what is the argument? If the man is telling you,
from my point of view,
if the man is telling you, look, let's just say me. If
you know what? I don't believe I hear you. That to me that's just that.
So you say change the language.
That's an undertone, like the how bad you mean. I hear that, and I don't hear nothing else after I hear you. Not even the but. I don't agree. When I hear that, I don't hear you. That don't resonate well with me anymore in life. Because I feel like, you know why? Because I feel like it's a cop out.
So if I was to ignore you, how would you take that? I mean,
even though, okay, look, even though let's just say, okay, let's make it the situation like how I think our shit yesterday went, right? So this is your dude, and you tell him whatever will whoop, and this nigga says, I hear you, babe, but I just don't agree. And then you go in like you just did. And then in the middle of you going in, whenever you give this nigga an opportunity to talk, right? This nigga says to you, all right, babe, I wasn't meaning it like what you're saying it. What I'm saying is I understand exactly where you're coming from. I know what the fuck you mean, why you mean it. I just don't agree with you. You still gonna be hung up. You still gonna be hung up on the fact. Well, I did that yesterday. And you still talking to me about the goddamn.
But what I
did that yesterday, and you still talking to me about chauvinism.
At the end of the day, why can't men just be like, I'm gonna try to see it from her point of view, even though it could be outlandish, even though it could be fucked up.
If I'm with you, I see you from your point of view.
It might be the same thing in the end. Why can't it just be like, instead of saying I hear you, why can't we replace that as in I really want to try to see this from your point of view?
Because it's already said.
From your point of view. I don't have time for that.
Because he already said it. He already said it. That's why. He already said it. And after you flashed and went in,
statement as I hear you, but I hear you.
After he had no idea that this was a triggering thing for you, as I'm quite sure that none of the three of us did, right? Before right now, right? So he had no idea, right? He really thought that he was communicating to you, that he understood where you was coming from, but he was just being honest with you, right? That he just didn't agree with you. So you go in because you triggered. You go in, and after you go in, he explains to you calmly that, look, I feel where you're coming from. You right. I didn't know that. I won't ever use that word again. But however, what I was meaning was this, and this. How long are you gonna keep talking to this nigga about being triggered by the word?
Yeah. Hey, but you know what?
When are you and the nigga gonna get to the conversation about what you talking?
I need a better phrase. I just need a better phrase.
But it's already happened. It already happened. But it already happened, though,
point of view.
But it already happened.
See it from your point of view. That means that you value what I'm saying and you care enough to send your very fucking best.
So look, check this out,
but
right?
It already happened.
So look,
it already happened. Like I said, see you again, you won't listen to me because it don't fit your narrative. So what I said, I'm saying it again, right? He had no idea that this was triggering for you. Not only did he have no idea, but in his mind, in this nigga's mind, as would have been in my mind, him saying, I hear you, but I don't agree with you, was his nice way of saying, I understand you. I understand where you're coming from. I don't agree with you, and I sure in the fuck don't want to argue with you about it, right? And then you go in about the word. Now, mind you, he had no idea. Now he does, because you went in for 15 minutes about being triggered by that word. And then he comes back and says, I understand you being triggered by the word. I apologize for that. Ain't what I was meaning. What I was meaning was that I understand you. I understand why you think like you think. I just don't agree with you. And I'm honest enough with you, respect you enough to not lie to you about it. How long are you and this nigga gonna be arguing about the word
2
after
years.
he says all of that shit?
2 years. You know why? Because it always a whole reference point of going back. It's just like, you know, I
always
overheard
a reason to find the black man at fault.
So the thing is,
Fuck what
right?
he was trying to do.
Yeah, you fucked it up by not agreeing with me at that particular
Always
time.
reason.
Exactly.
Always.
Oh, there it is.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's wrong.
So
Here, I'll say something even different, and then I'll be done. I'll let you go, Nick. So here's the thing, right? This is the thing, right? We only talk about the times when the nigga don't agree with you.
Don't talk about the good times.
1,000 times that he did. You don't talk about none of them.
That's what I'm saying. Half of the night I've been on this shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Yesterday
Give a nigga
was
some credit. Every time we not arguing, how about you assume that every time we not arguing is because I capitulated to what the fuck you was talking about? Because I had an argument for your ass.
If you don't, it's always about the shit you ain't doing.
Yeah. So the thing is, right?
The times that we argue was the times when I was so fed up or so bold enough or so felt strongly enough to tell you, nah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah. So the
and
thing
he's willing
is, right?
to argue with you.
Or how about
other than that, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
I don't even tell you none of that shit. You just find a reason to
It's
argue.
not work. Again, it comes back to I love you more than I hate the fucked up decisions that you make for us. So if it's some shit that I can see down the line is gonna be some shit that I say that's gonna cause us to have a big ass blowout, and the shit that I'm saying really ain't that important. I'm fucking telling you about leaving the toilet seat up instead of leaving it down. Stupid shit like that. I'm not gonna say anything because I realize who my woman is. I realize she's a firebrand motherfucker and an alpha like me. So she gonna push back. Nigga, I fucking put the toilet down because that shit is nasty. Who the fuck does that? Well, it's my motherfucking house. I pay the fucking rent around this bitch. That's who does it. Me and my goddamn dog. You feel what I'm saying? But we're not even gonna go there. I'm just okay.
So look, and I
my damn self.
Look, and that's
you guys never see that.
Look,
y'all never see the times we agree with you. Ever.
So that's a trigger, right? Because I know one dude, his wife he complained about. She's like, "Won't you sit down and pee like me?" I was like, "Nigga, if you ever sit down and pee like her in that house, because you keep on forgetting the toilet seat up, nigga." I was saying, if you go for that, you whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that,
like I said,
no, I'm saying
I don't need anybody to agree with me. I'm okay with being a loner. But like I said,
you never alone though.
But I'm saying that instead of using a phrase like "I hear you," with most women equate to like "I just don't give a fuck."
It means that I don't agree with you. That's what it means.
But I'm telling you,
just for reference points, that's what it means.
I'm telling you how most women see that phrase.
And I'm telling you, since most women is listening and not talking, the niggas that's talking is the ones who. That's what's important. Is the meaning of the nigga communicating the shit. So if you had it fucked up, I'm clearing it up, and it's not my responsibility to change my language because you won't change your understanding.
So, and that's what I was saying, and that's what I was saying earlier, right? That
so in that point, in that instance, I'd be like, I'm out because why would I subject myself to some shit that's just not gonna change?
And what the nigga like me would be saying is that you out because you don't get your way, get the fuck on.
Right.
So
that's all that matters in the first place.
Because look, any here, let me show you the difference between men and women, right? Men never are invested in the ability to say it's over, right? We try to fix it. Women use it's over as two of the bullets in their 6 chambers and shit, right? So whenever there's let me finish. So when a nigga, when a nigga, no, but look, when a nigga, let me just finish what I'm saying.
And try,
or you can finish what I'm saying.
See it from my point of view. Then how long we gonna go through the song and dance?
That's the point. What happens at all points of view. If I agree with your point of view, what the fuck does that have to do with mine? What does that mean about my point of view?
I didn't say agree. I said I need you to try to.
I understand your point of view.
And we keep telling you
from my point of view.
And we keep telling you.
And if you can see it from my point of view, then that means you're gonna stop using the word "I hear you."
No, that's not. That just means I understand what you're saying. But I'm not finna stop using the word because I don't agree with you.
You gonna stop using it with me if you want to mean something to me?
Why?
Well, you won't stop not listening to me when I tell you what bothers me.
After you say I hear you, I don't hear nothing else. I'm just trying to get
we ain't even talking about the I hear you, motherfucker. We talking about a nigga that ain't on no I hear you shit. He just expressing to you what the fuck he really wants out of you, or what disappoints him.
I can hear that, and I can support that.
But you can't. You already said a nigga ain't gonna talk to you like this.
You
got conditions on the way that a nigga delivers to you.
I came into the show saying that life is not going to be peaches and cream every day. Every conversation is not going to be agreeable. I don't even want you to be agreeable with me every day. All I'm saying is that can we talk to each other in such a way?
We got to figure out which days.
No, you got to figure out the language.
For real, Southern. For real. You got to really drive me. For real. For real.
Hey, see, look, and Shell, you a cold motherfucker right there. That's cold shit, right?
Now you see him. I done brought it down. Look, I done brought it down to my enclosed voice.
You know what I'm saying?
Still gonna try to go there. Like,
look,
no.
so I got look.
My pedigree. You know my last name. Please.
You know what I'm saying? So look, I got to say it like this, right? Because in this right here, it was actually therapy for me, right? Because I'm in yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in a different spectrum. So I'm seeing a little thing. It hits a little different now, right? Because I'm asking the question, why do I see this going on in my community so rampant now? Right? Where it's like, it's good to be turned up. If you're not yelling at the top of your lungs out of the car, you know what I'm saying, in the house, and you call the police over there for somebody could get murdered, the military police, you know what I'm saying?
In a perfect world,
it's not perfect.
Hold on, but I'm saying in a perfect world, a perfect society, we wouldn't have these problems. We get married, we submit, the man will lead, and life will be hunky dory. But it's just not that now. Now that women have to really, as a woman, you have to try to protect yourself. You just can't follow behind every man, because every man was not born to lead. And then you have to, and now you kind of have to question, like, where is he leading me to? And I don't mean it as a disrespect. I'm just saying that that's just kind of where we are as a society now. I could love you to death, but you just might not be a great leader. And I don't mind trying to follow you and stuff like that. But even the Bible, when they just say, don't use the submit just word. Don't use that word loosely if you're not leading, and stuff like that. Because as a woman, and you're my man, I'm gonna try to go with you on most things. But I would like the leeway to, if I don't understand it, or if it's just not right, then just to kind of be like, hey, can we talk about where you're going?
So the one thing,
and I'm saying that just from a true woman's point of view. So that's why I'm saying that sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it and stuff like that. Like I said, I already know I have triggers. I have a big problem with constructive criticism, which is why I manage. But at the same time, I'm not opposed to anybody telling me what's, as opposed to what's right, what's wrong. Let me tell you one thing. My sister's a Virgo, my daddy and my brother are Leo. There's always been tears in my fucking household and in my life.
Yeah. But look, my world changed. My world changed.
But what I'm saying is that, and I had to develop thick skin at an early age in life. And I still don't have it all the time.
Yeah. But the world changed to me.
I struggle with that with my siblings and with my parents. Like, I have issues with people just coming at me any kind of way about it. Because why? Because I feel like if I'm doing my personal best, I feel like you got to try to understand me or work with me. And sometimes when people just say, I ain't gonna lie, when people say, I hear you, it just means that they don't want to talk about it no more. And they really don't care about it. And like I said, maybe if we could just find a better phrase to, like, I really want to try to see it from your point of view. Maybe that's another sidebar. Maybe let's talk about it just a little bit more. I think if you're going to be with somebody, you have to be dedicated to finding why they have those triggers and what are the reasons for their triggers. You
Yeah.
know,
So my
if somebody told me they had triggers, then I'd be like, you know what, one day we're going to have a conversation just on fucking triggers. We
yeah,
just
that's like
going
we
to talk
said we
about
wanna.
what means what to you. But you
So
have to care enough to send your very best like a Hallmark card.
so the thing is, right, and that's understandable to the whole thing. But my whole world turned upside down when this dude was arguing with this woman about, and
I
she
agree
said
with
to
you.
him that if you sit down and pee, we won't have the problem you leaving the toilet seat up. And I'm like, what is the world coming to? Like, she's gonna break this man down to that point, right? That it actually is a conversation that needs to be had in public rather at home, right? But nuts behind closed doors. But this is the thing right here, Shell, right? The
Mhm.
things that we've been through in life can't be taken on to the next part of life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or the next person that comes in our cycle, right?
And I
So
totally agree with that. Right.
you know,
And I know I'm guilty of it. So I totally
wait, you're
agree
not
and I'm
guilty of it, right?
admitting that.
No,
Yeah.
you at some point you are misinformed about it, right? Because we don't have nobody to story to that our own, because people don't know what you actually feel inside. When they say something to you at that moment, they don't know how you feel. You try to replicate that, but still the action of the communication is flawed because it's been built up over generations. This is what you think you're supposed to do, not what you need to do. Period. You know what I'm saying? And that comes in public from TV shows, from books, from all of these things. But when you organically live by truth and by the universe, in that spiritual side of everything, it comes naturally. Where it don't even have to be a goddamn conversation. Whether you think that I'm misleading you, you know what I'm saying? Whether you trying to take me down the dark path, you know what I'm saying? Whether you got habits, these things and these things. If you live by
I mean,
that
like I said,
creed.
I don't have a problem with following you, but I do like to reserve the right to question where we may be going. And I don't and on top of
Wrong with
that,
that.
I don't
Yeah,
think
ain't no
it
wrong with
has
that.
to be I don't think it has to be responded with anger. I think that I like why can't my concerns be a legitimate question?
When you get a chance,
Well,
look up trauma bonds. When you
if
said people want to be in trauma bond relationship. If all y'all get a chance, look up trauma bonds, right? And we actually start with that crust, not from the mud. From what
Mhm.
trauma have I been through? How can I think this next human being can solve it? But I don't even ask them what their traumas was, because your
Right.
traumas don't mean shit. Because mine is more important than yours. And that
Thank
right
you.
there, wherever that shit
I'm
started,
totally with
is
you.
fucked up.
We gotta make
You know
this
what I'm saying?
happen. As we gotta get this
Yeah.
money. We gotta do what we gotta do. But at the same time, you gotta realize that my woman a little different.
well,
And
what
look,
you
and
said,
look,
what
You
you
know,
just here, let me say something,
she
man.
a
Let me
little
say something.
special
What
along the way.
you
You know,
just
she requires some extra type of handling. And I
you
just
said
need them
something.
just to acknowledge that point. That's all.
go ahead, man.
Damn, what the fuck did you?
Yeah, but the thing is, and she told a dude, stop mansplaining. What is fucking mansplaining? What is this shit?
Backpedaling.
Oh, that's man. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's some shit. I never even heard of that. I ain't
I,
heard that on.
I ain't backpedal. I said I'm wrong. I'm
Oh,
wrong.
that's
So
what mansplaining means. So when somebody used that against me, mansplaining.
Now
Oh
Maddie
yeah.
was just playing. Maddie was just playing.
No, I ain't talking about this. No, I'm not talking. Who said something like that? That was in the
Oh,
comments.
well,
You
she
know,
had
I'm kidding.
said it, but Maddie had said it. She was just playing. Yeah.
No, no, I'm not talking about. I said I heard that in public. This lady, after she told him to sit down and pee, that was traumatizing to me. And this dude's like, okay, honey, I'll try.
I agree
I'm
with you,
like,
Wayne.
wow.
I mean, I don't think that one person is trying to be right. I think that's the disconnect. If we just all, I
oh,
think
I know
everybody
what you
just
said.
wants to be heard and understood. That's all.
I know
The
what you
disconnect.
said. I know what you said. You said you don't want to feel like when you challenge or you have something to say about the direction
Act,
that you're,
act,
huh?
not challenge. When I ask a question.
Asked.
Okay, ask.
Mhm.
My point is that what you said was that you don't want to feel like you. What was it that you said? Because you keep getting me through off of shit. You said
Well,
you don't
just
want to
saying
feel.
that.
You don't want to feel like. You don't want to feel like. Uh, uh, basically what you were saying is you don't want to feel like what you got to say don't have no importance,
no values.
And
Well, I
what I was going to say here, let me answer before I forget again. Right? What I was going to say is that if you in a relationship with a man that you feel like you cannot sit down and give your input on any issue that's going on between the two of you guys, then you're in the wrong relationship. And that is not what I'm describing. And I think that that's why we keep bumping heads, because I keep describing me. You keep describing some bum ass motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all the things that you,
I like that view.
All the things that you keep saying, yeah, well, you ain't just gone, I ain't going. I'll be like, well, what the fuck? I ain't on no shit like that. I'm gonna listen to every fucking thing that you got to say. Your input is more than important. It's just as valuable as mine, because we got to weigh both. I don't know every motherfucking thing, but see, again, this goes back into the whole structure
that's so cold.
How does a good relationship run? And again, back to the whole idea that I was saying about, I feel personally that Black women about the conversation and really not about that action like that. Because just like you say, I don't have no problem submitting to a man, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. That is the general spoken consensus of Black women trying to be in a relationship with a productive Black man.
But we all keep putting the same
real action, right? Submission means to those women, submission means you and me are going to decide what I want, and I'm going to allow you to lead us there.
Yeah.
But with a real nigga, a real motherfucker that's really about leading his family, right? He's gonna realize, well, shit, I don't make all the guys, I don't know everything. My wife, we might have been at a cocktail party, and I'm about to make a business move with this motherfucker that went by and said some, out of order shit to her about me in her ear. You know what I'm saying? In a scenario like that, and we just using extremes, right? Where I'm the benefactor, the extreme benefactor, and my woman is the extreme sacrificer, right? And she, I need that information, right? I don't need to be trying to extract that information from her be feeling like, well, I don't want to tell him because he's gonna trip. No, because if you're in a relationship with a motherfucker that's really about you, you already have that understanding that anything that this nigga is trying to lead y'all to is for the betterment of y'all. So I think what it is that a lot of the niggas that chicks be describing
about,
when they have that attitude that you have right now about what you ain't, what's this, what's that, what's the other, right? And all the challenges, like I said, once again, from a man's point of view, a man is a victim, right? So a man is going to be like, me and my woman are at an impasse. We have a problem. That problem needs a solution, period. Ain't no plan B, ain't no runaway, ain't no, oh, well, this bitch. You got to really get to the end of the line for a nigga to be like, man, I'm just done. But a woman is like, well, if this nigga's not understanding what I'm saying and we ain't doing it the way, fuck him. I'll go find another nigga that will. And in comes the beta. Because the alpha is going to let your ass go. He realizes that you're not trying to build with him any motherfucking way. You're trying to be him. You're trying to be in competition with him. We live in the house together. What's the point of you marriage together? We're in a relationship together. We have kids together. We own shit together. But really is, well, nigga, I make $140 a year and you make 95, nigga. So it's really more of my shit. And a nigga never thinks like that.
Never.
Ever.
And most women don't think like that. I don't make a lot of money. I don't give a fuck what you making. I don't want your money. I don't need your money. But I do want
you a rare breed then. You're a rare breed.
I do want you to try to see where I may be coming from when I have something to say.
What about the nigga that makes $20,000 a year less than you, whatever that is?
That's that. I mean, that's that. I've haven't personally had to cross that bridge. And I guess
what I'm saying is, where are you? What are you submitting to with him?
Huh.
Where's he leading?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know because I haven't been in that situation.
Well, that's the problem. That you don't know comes from, and I apologize for doing this, but I asked you a monetary based question on purpose to see if you gave me a monetary based answer, and you did. Right, because
and like
it wasn't about none of the qualities. It wasn't about none of the qualities that he has as a husband and the way that he treats you. It was about whether or not the nigga made less money than you and whether or not you can deal with that. And you had to think about it. It should be nothing to think about.
Yeah, because I could have had it all and lost it, but I'm still the same person. And that's, you know what? All of us, we actually got that vision. So to let the people in on it, right? And it's that's the one thing.
Whatever, Mimi.
What the hell is that? Look, the one thing that we really have to understand.
The worst case scenario ever, like
sugar mama. But the one thing is, right, and getting all this other information in, man, and I'm still, right, intrigued about. I need to do some more research. It's like, actually, where is that turning point? So it started with the collapse of the household. It said that the woman had
to make
get
decisions,
up here
and then when you tried to bring them back together, then it was bumping heads.
You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's what I was meaning when I was saying that we're in competition with one another.
Yeah, and then the other thing,
in a lot of women's minds, you know what I'm saying? Look, we are 3 generations away.
We don't need you, but we need
the Civil Acts right and shit, right? And all the shit all the social welfare programs and shit, right? That kind of kick black men out of the house and shit, right? Made black men irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? And you fast forward to 2021 and
that shit worked.
What gets carried? The mentality that gets carried, right? That's inbred in 3 generations later is, I want to be with a black man. I love black love. I want to have black children. I want to forward the black family and the black community.
But how I would look
do this shit by my motherfucking self. I don't really need no man. I want a man. Well, I need a woman. Feel what I'm saying? If I'm a B in that scenario, I need you. I'm not trying to be independent. I'm trying to be interdependent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to depend on one another. And there's too much independence in the black family. How about that?
Yeah. And that's the part I was getting to, right? Because
I agree.
That's the whole makeup of everything, because it don't, like I said yesterday, it don't, they want to wrap up the gift. If it's in a Honda Excel, whatever, but if I hop in my friend's car and go around the corner to the gas station, how much attention would I get, right? And that's the whole thing. But not knowing that, if I said, okay, and not being upfront with you, it's like, this is it. Well, what kind of, what kind of person are you, right? And so the encrypted message that they still giving us, feed us every day is like, that dude that's digging holes for Caltrans or whatever is nobody. Like, where did he feel in life? The woman that's managing Burger King, where did she feel in life? But it's all the same, because they, at the end of the day, they have feelings. They got a spiritual that needs to be nurtured. You know what I'm saying? If you don't nurture the spirit first, how can I nurture your body, your mind, your housing? If you don't have those attributes to even go into conducting and making a home. And that's the one part that we skip over. Yeah,
right.
That's what we go for.
In closing, I just feel like, do your best to try to, just try to understand where your mate is coming from, even if you don't agree, but know what to say and what not to say. I think that will make a difference in how y'all date might progress. How, what y'all might stay away from. I mean, again, and if you're gonna fight fair. It's just basic.
There's no fight.
Or don't fight. But what I'm saying is that arguments will occur. But what I'm saying is it's a right and the wrong way to handle it. But I'll just say, use common courtesy. Treat other people as you would want them to treat you. But I will say this: every woman, every man is different. You just need to know how different your woman or your man is. Some women might be extra needy. Some women may not be. Some may be more understanding. Some may be more of a go with the flow. I'm really not a go with the flow type of person. I really need to understand what we're doing and how we're doing it. I need a little bit more explanation. I'm one of the people that need a lot more assurance. If you love me, you care about me, I need you to say that shit every fucking day. I don't give a shit. Again, for the people in the TC, I need you to say that shit every fucking day. I need to hear it. So I speak all 5 love languages. Learn them. if I'm a person that you're trying to be with, if you're trying to be with me.
I'm
But
looking that up.
I'm just saying that I just, and that's my standpoint on it. Like, try to stay away from trigger words, and stuff like that. I'm not saying stay away from conversation. I'm just saying that have a conversation in such a way to both parties may be able to walk away feeling like they were understood.
What I would say in closing is that the flip side of that, the man side of that would be um, women simply don't understand that we do understand you. We just don't understand you in the way that you want to be understood. And um, the selfish side of that is that generally men who are about that life, about that business, are less tolerant, are less understanding of the impact that the way that you feel has on the relationship. So we're just as, because from the man's point of view, I feel like I feel. So I feel like women are selfish when it comes down to communication, right? That women believe that it's about how you feel. And I also have to acknowledge, because I'm fucking on the show and keeping it 100, that men believe that your feelings don't mean fuck. It's all about what we need to do. We need to be clear and communicate. And I think that neither should be more important than the other, even though as a nigga, I think that what I'm talking about is more important. I think that before we get to any kind of viable communication that's going to move our community forward, we're going to need to get past the ego that is attached to how important we believe our particular points of view are. And that's coming from a nigga who really knows that, I think that I'm fucking right. I don't give three shits. All right. We have been the Piranha Pod.
You forgot about
Frank.
You forgot about Frank.
In closing, I want to say thank you for watching. We appreciate you. And we are powered by the people.
Yeah, you can't leave Frank nothing flying out. Much love to y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, some more research, man. Cause we need to get about this problem, this solution. Find a solution to it.
And working towards it. That's what the conversation is about.
Exactly.
Anybody else?
That's it.
All right.
Let's party. It's almost Friday, baby.
Been live and 5 from the Piranha Pod. I want to thank everybody that joined us today, both Facebook and YouTube Live. Catch us on the rebroadcast on both platforms. Like, share, subscribe, comment on the rebroadcast. It shows up as though you commented in real time. It is hilarious. We always know exactly what it is that you're talking about. Sometimes you might catch one of us up in the middle of the night or something. We might answer your ass and shit in real time. Yeah. I have been the Kingfish Mac, and I've been joined by my piranhas in the pond. We have been live at 5, and now we are